there's a fundamental difference in my mind between a team that is resting its starters and a team that has nothing to play for by way of postseason consequence, because you still have something to play for. You have pride to play for. You have the opportunity to spoil things for a division rival, and Week 18 consists exclusively of games within the same division. Jaguars at Titans, the game that will, for the Jaguars, if they win, deliver the AFC South Championship after they lost 4 games in a row, got it back on track last week with C.J. Beathard in for Trevor Lawrence in that game against the Panthers that got David Tepper sufficiently upset to throw his drink on someone. Trevor Lawrence back now from that shoulder injury, most likely. But the Titans, you mentioned it, Mike Vrabel, Derrick Henry, likely, if not definitely, his last game with the Titans. Ryan Tannehill, who probably will not be playing unless Will Levis gets injured again. Levis has returned to practice. Who knows if he'll be ready to go on Sunday. And maybe they'll just protect Will Levis. Maybe they'll give Ryan Tannehill one last go as the quarterback of the Titans before he walks away to whichever team's going to sign him next year. But, yeah, even though it looks on paper like the Titans don't care, of course they care. It's a home game. They're ending the season. It's Mike Vrabel. He's never going to lay down for anyone under any circumstances, Peter.
Mike Vrabel is the perfect guy to be playing this game if you want a competitive football game with a team trying to win a division against a team that is out of it. It's exactly like what happened last year in Game 272 when the Detroit Lions had nothing to play for, even though their end was sudden and the Tennessee Titans' end has been gradual and somewhat precipitous. But the two coaches in charge of these two teams, Dan Campbell last year with Detroit going into Green Bay and winning that game against a favored Packer team, and this year, Mike Vrabel coaching at home and against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I just think this is a perfect setup for Vrabel, and he's going to use it, and he's going to get his players to play hard. And Mike, look, we probably have talked about this. I think we have. But I just look at this game, and I look at Derrick Henry in what likely is his last game. At some point, the Tennessee Titans, unless he takes 32 cents on the dollar in a 1-year contract with Tennessee, and I've got to believe somebody out there would want Derrick Henry, even at age 30, to come and play for them next year. But be that as it may, Derrick Henry has to know that there's a very good chance this is his last game in Nashville as a member of the Titans. So I do not underestimate what that means. A power back, one of the last power backs really ever in the NFL. And I think the physical nature of Mike Vrabel and Derrick Henry, I think is going to carry them Sunday. I don't know. I like Tennessee in this game.
Well, and think of the closing argument that Derrick Henry makes to the rest of the league as teams are beginning to compile their targets for free agency, who they want to pay, who they don't want to pay, who they want on their team, who they don't want on their team. If he can have one of those turn back the clock days, and I'm looking at his rushing totals, he still has 1,000 yards this year. Quietest 1,000-yard season of his career. Now, he's not going to have anything close to the 1,500 that we've come to know from him. He had 3 out of 4 years, 3 out of 4 years, 1,500 or more rushing yards, which is just amazing. And he had 2,000 back in 2020. But still, he's got gas in the tank, and he's going to want to go somewhere next year. And this is his chance to have a big game and get everyone's attention and get people to say, maybe we should pay a 30-year-old running back, something more than the league minimum to come in and supercharge our running game. Even if he's not the guy who gets the ball all the time anymore, he's still somebody who, when he has the ball in his hands, can be very dangerous. So I like that wrinkle. I hadn't really thought about it when we did our picks podcast yesterday. I don't know that I would have changed my mind because we saw Jaguars-Titans last year with both teams trying to get to the playoffs, and the Jaguars found a way to win. But still, this whole Vrabel angle, Derrick Henry, the possibility of Ryan Tannehill playing, and he's definitely out in Tennessee after this year. I kind of agree with your reasoning, and we'll see what happens on Sunday. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.